One of the craziest rumors like we have seen in a long time. Jennifer Aniston and Barack Obama, a couple.
So, seriously.
Yeah. You guys have been sending in articles about this nonstop all week, so we are here to sift through everything and see what's really going on.
It's certainly one of the more unexpected pairings I have ever heard of.
Right.
And it really just highlights how quickly, misinformation can just spread in this digital age.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we have got this Forbes article that really kind of breaks down the whole story, and it's wild. So, where did this even come from?
Well, pinning down the exact start of any rumor is tough. But the Forbes article points to In Touch Weekly as one of the first sources back in August 2024. They had a story titled The Truth About Jen and Barack,
Oh my God.
filled with all these dramatic claims.
Okay.
Obama leaving Michelle
Wow.
because he and Jennifer were quote-unquote obsessed with each other.
Okay, obsessed. That's a strong word.
Right.
So is there any evidence to back up these claims?
None whatsoever.
Okay.
But a headline is all it takes sometimes to get people talking.
That's for sure. And it sounds like this didn't just stay in the pages of the In Touch Weekly.
Right. This rumor went totally mainstream when Jennifer Aniston herself went on Jimmy Kimmel in early October 2024, and she addressed it directly.
Oh, wow. What did she say?
She laughed it off, of course.
Okay.
And firmly denied it. You would think that would be the end of it. But these rumors have a way of coming back, especially online.
So how did it resurface?
Well,
The Forbes article mentioned something about a recent surge.
yeah, it seemed like it got traction again recently, maybe linked to Michelle Obama's absence from both Jimmy Carter's funeral
Oh.
and Trump's inauguration.
Wow.
So people started to wonder if there was trouble in paradise.
The classic absence equals trouble situation.
Right.
But didn't the New York Times report that Michelle Obama had a scheduling conflict for the funeral?
They did, and there wasn't an official explanation for her absence at the inauguration. But, she has been pretty outspoken about her opinions on Trump.
Yeah. So not surprising, but it's amazing how quickly people will jump to conclusions.
I know.
Especially when there's a potential scandal, brewing.
It's such a great example of confirmation bias.
Okay.
We just latch on to information that supports what we think, even if there is no evidence to back it up.
Right.
So for example, if someone has a negative view of Michelle Obama, they might be more likely to believe that her marriage is falling apart.
Okay. That makes sense. It's our brains are looking for patterns even when they don't exist.
Exactly. And social media plays a huge role in this too.
Yes.
The Forbes article said the online reaction was a total frenzy,
Oh, gosh.
with everything from lighthearted jokes to full-blown conspiracy theories.
Yeah, it's amazing how quickly misinformation spreads online, especially when they're talking about celebrities and you add in a bit of drama.
Yeah.
Why are we so drawn to this kind of stuff?
Well, on a basic level, our brains love novelty.
Okay.
We get a little dopamine rush from new and unusual things.
Uh-huh.
And this is especially true for combinations that we don't expect.
Yeah.
Jennifer Aniston and Barack Obama, that's about as unexpected as it gets.
So our brains are wait, hold on, what? Jennifer Aniston and Barack Obama? Tell me more.
Precisely. And then you add in their celebrity status,
Uh-huh.
which just amplifies that fascination.
Mm-hmm.
We're naturally curious about the lives of famous people and the possibility that their lives are intersecting
Yeah.
in some unexpected way is irresistible.
It's like a real-life soap opera, and we all want to know what happens next.
Right.
But in this case, the soap opera is based on fiction, not facts.
Yeah.
And that's where social media's role becomes even more important.
Absolutely. The structure of these platforms just contribute to the spread of these types of rumors.
Okay, so let's dive into that. How exactly does social media contribute to this kind of stuff taking off?
Well, social media platforms are designed for rapid sharing,
Yeah.
and information can spread like wildfire, whether it's true or not.
Yeah.
And we can't forget about those algorithms.
Oh, yeah.
They are constantly working to show us content that's going to keep us engaged, even if it's totally outlandish.
You're telling me it's the more outrageous or controversial something is, the more likely it is to get all the likes, shares, comments.
Yeah.
Which just fuels the algorithms even more.
Exactly. It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
Clicks and shares become more important than the truth.
Right.
And then there's the whole psychology of the in-group belonging.
Okay.
When we believe something that other people don't,
Yeah.
it can feel like we are part of this select group
Right.
with special knowledge that others are missing out on.
So it's not just about the gossip itself, it's about feeling like you're in the know part of something exclusive.
Precisely. That feeling can be so powerful, even if it's based on something that is totally made up.
Wow, that's a really interesting point. Okay, so we've seen how this rumor started. We've seen how social media amplified it. What about those, like, diehard fans?
Oh, yeah.
What role did they play in all of this?
Oh, the stands. They were definitely having a field day with this rumor.
Okay.
And their enthusiasm just added more fuel to the fire.
Okay, so we have got this faceless rumor swirling around, amplified by social media and our own psychology quirks. Kind of feels a bit depressing, honestly. It makes you wonder, what other narratives are we buying into without even realizing it?
Yeah.
It's like our brains are primed for a good story, and sometimes we forget to check if the story is actually, true.
It is a little disheartening, but it's also like a wake-up call.
Okay.
You can't just passively consume information, especially online. We need to be critical thinkers. Question what we see and read. Look for credible sources before we accept something as truth.
Okay.
Think of it this way. You are in a room with a bunch of people.
Uh-huh.
And they're all shouting the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You start to believe it even if it's not true.
Right.
That's what we call an echo chamber.
That's a great analogy. So how do we break free from those echo chambers and avoid falling for this misinformation?
Well, for starters, always check the source, Is it a reputable news outlet, a respected expert, or just some random person on Twitter?
Right.
And if something seems too good to be true,
Yeah.
it probably is.
That's a good reminder. It's easy to get, swept up in the excitement of a juicy story.
It is, but remember, critical thinking is key. Don't just take things at face value, especially when it seems like too outlandish to be true.
So in this case, there's absolutely no evidence to support this Aniston-Obama dating rumor. It's pure fantasy.
Exactly. And while it might be fun to entertain the idea for a minute,
Yeah.
it's important to maintain a healthy dose of skepticism, especially when it comes to information online.
Okay, so let's bring it back down to earth for a minute. We had some fun exploring this crazy rumor, but what are the key takeaways here? What can our listeners learn from this whole saga?
I think the biggest takeaway is just the importance of thinking critically,
Yeah.
In the digital age.
Yeah.
We're just bombarded with information constantly, and we have to filter through it all,
Right.
figure out what's credible and what's not.
And it's not just about protecting ourselves from bad information. It's about being responsible citizens and not contributing to spreading things that aren't true.
Right before you share something online, just ask yourself a few questions is it from a reliable source?
Yeah.
Does a line with what you already know to be true?
Mm-hmm.
And most importantly, does it pass the sniff test?
That sniff test is crucial.
Right. If something feels off or just seems too good to be true,
Yeah.
it probably is.
It probably is. We have to be willing to question things even if it confirms what we already believe,
Right.
So basically, we all need to become internet detectives, always on the lookout for clues that might reveal the truth.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
We need to be curious, but also skeptical and always willing to dig a little deeper.
So to wrap up this wild ride of a deep dive,
Yeah.
what's the one message you want to leave our listeners with today?
I'd say be critical thinkers. Don't just accept everything you see online at face value. Question your sources, consider different perspectives, and be willing to change your mind if you are presented with new evidence.
That's great advice. And remember, just because a story is entertaining or it goes viral doesn't mean it's true.
Exactly. The truth is out there,
Yeah.
but sometimes it takes a little work to find it.
Well said. And on that note, we'll leave you with this. If a rumor about Jennifer Aniston and Barack Obama dating can spread this easily, what other outlandish stories might we be accepting without enough scrutiny?
That is the question, isn't it?
It is.
Next time you see a headline that seems too good to be true, just pause. Consider the source before you hit that share button.
Because in the age of information overload, critical thinking is like our superpower.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of online rumors and misinformation. Until next time, stay curious, stay skeptical, and keep those BS detectors on high alert.